Hello and welcome to today's video about how to define and fine-tune a control identifier. If you are not familiar with UI browser and control identifiers, please make sure to check out our dedicated video about this topic. The robot will access Google, search for the current exchange rate between EUR and USD, and capture the value. First step is to create two string variables, currency1 and currency2, and set default values EUR and USD. In Tap Studio, the default value of a string variable doesn't need to be set in quotes. Let's name the sequence, exchange rate, and open it. First activity to be executed will be the start process activity. As we want to access Google in Microsoft Edge, the process name is msedge.x. And the argument is Google URL. Now let's add a wait for control activity. You might wonder why we need wait for control. Because it takes around 2 seconds for Microsoft Edge to open on Google, and the default wait time before the set text activity, that we are going to add, is 150 milliseconds. In other words, the robot would search for the Google search bar control identifier to set the text to be searched for, but it would not find it while the browser and page is still loading. To define the control identifier for Google search bar, let's first open Google and in the same time, test the workflow. Select the Google search bar as the identifier for the wait for control activity. Now let's move to UI browser, to rename and fine-tune the Google search button control identifier. Let's rename Google search bar, set a wildcard as window caption. As best practice, always highlight the control identifier to make sure that after fine-tuning it is still recognized. Next, let's add a set text activity and set the Google search bar as a control identifier. Let's remember that we could reuse the Google search bar as a control identifier, because it was already defined. This is one of the many smart features of Tap Studio. In the value parameter, set a concatenation to get €1 and USD. Let's add a press key activity in order to press enter, after the text is set in the Google search bar. The value of key parameter is return, meaning enter. Next we add a new wait for control activity, to make sure the robot would try to capture the exchange rate, only after the results page is loaded. Define the control identifier to be checked if it was loaded, the exchange rate value. To fine-tune the exchange rate control identifier, set a wildcard to Windows Caption, in the text property of the main window. Additionally, set a wildcard to the text property of the last window, to make sure the bot will not capture only a specific value, but any value that starts with 1 dot. Don't forget to rename the control identifier and to use the highlight feature. Let's add a getValue activity and reuse the exchange rate control identifier. Create a string variable, rate, and set it as output for getValue. Add a message box activity and set as output the concatenation €1 equals captured exchange rate in USD. We need to define a control identifier for the Chrome Close button in order to close the window. Let's close Microsoft Edge and run the automation project. And we are all set. The bot will open the browser, access Google search page, input the search text and press enter. It captures the exchange rate value and displays it. That's it. Thank you for watching.